white people was whipping the shit out of white people. I'm gonna show you how wicked white people are to their own people. In Lincolnshire, the cottages of the peasantry are in a better condition than any other part of England. But in consequence of the lowness of wages and the comparative enormity of rents, the tillers of the soil are not much better circumstances than their rural brethren in other counties. Upon an average, a hardworking peasant can earn 5 shillings a week, 2 shillings of which go for rent. If he can barely live when employed, what is to become of him when thrown out of employment? Thus, the English peasant is driven to the most constant and yes, hopeless labor, with whips more terrible than those used by the master of the Negro. The white man was getting his ass whooped by the white man worse than a nigga was getting his ass whooped by the white man. They was getting their ass whooped. And what they like to do is, they like to say, especially the blue blacks, they think of whips and chains. The first thing they think of is niggas. Like, we gotta own oppression. We gotta own the whip. They be like, oh, look at how they treated us. I'm like, no, they treated everybody like that. They treated their own kind worse than they did you, nigga. Blue blacks don't like hearing that because they think it's apologists. No, these motherfuckers is wicked. The families of the peasant live, men, women, boys, and girls live, sleep together, and herd with the wallowing pigs. So they sleeping with pigs. Gaunt, ragged figures crawl out of these hovels and plant the ground around them with potatoes, which constitute the only food of the inmates throughout the year. They refer to them as inmates. When we're talking about mid-19th century, these are definitely slaves. Russia abolishes serfdom in 1861. The United States of America is 1865. So what the time period we're talking about here, they're reporting on, is about 1840. So this is pre-abolition of slavery. Let's go to this image from the museum. You see that right there? This is how they living, y'all. Don't let them tell you the Africans was living in mud huts. This is England. This is a recreation in a museum. This is how they was living. But not only are the majority of the Irish condemned to exist in such hovels as we have sketched above, if they do not pay the rent for them at the proper time, they are liable to be turned adrift even in the middle of the night. Imagine living in a mud hut and paying rent. Imagine getting evicted from a mud hut. When I tell you the white man wicked, the white man is wicked. If they do not pay rent at the proper time, they are liable to be turned adrift even in the middle of the night. No notice is necessary. The tenants are subject to the tender mercies of the bailiff without any remedy or appeal except to the court of heaven. That nigga said, take it up with God. Case states that in 1849, more than 50,000 families were evicted and turned as beggars upon the country.